Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at a tarot card puzzle that you can run in your D&D or your tabletop role-playing game. Now this was inspired by a deck of tarot cards that was sent to me by patron of the channel, Immortal Origins. Thank you very much for sending these. These are absolutely magnificent and I was excited to use these in a puzzle. Now the puzzle that we're going to look at today isn't really an invention of my own. In fact, this is a puzzle that is going to be ported over from a game called The Witching Hour. I will put a link to this. This is on Steam. It is an indie horror game and it has puzzle elements to it. So if you want to play it and try it out, you can find the link and give it a go. But within that game is a tarot card puzzle that really transfers over nicely to D&D. I only had to make a few modifications so that we could use the primary 21 arcane tarot cards. Now with regards to the puzzle, this is actually going to be a magical item that's going to consist of a scroll, a riddle, and 6 tarot cards out of the deck. Now once this puzzle is solved the first time, then they're going to have a functional magic item. And it's up to you as a GM if it takes an action or a 10-minute ritual to be able to activate it and what effect it has. So I'm excited to show this to you. This again is a tarot card puzzle from the Witching Hour and it is being ported over to D&D. But now before we get started, just a reminder that if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, join me over on the Discord for more puzzle and trap discussions, and pick up a copy of my book, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. So our tarot card puzzle is going to be stored in a small box. Of course, this is not to scale, but we're going to use it as such. When a character opens this box, they're going to see a few things. They're going to see a scroll or a tarot mat that is rolled up. They're going to see 6 tarot cards, and they're going to find a book that has the riddle and the tarot cards needed to solve the puzzle. Now this is a puzzle that can be figured out at a later time, perhaps in some downtime or something along those lines, as this is actually just going to be a magical item, and once the magic item is solved or the puzzle is solved for the very first time, then the character can activate it as an action or a 10-minute ritual or however you see fit. But let's take a look at the contents of the box and how the puzzle works. So the contents of this small box is going to have a scroll, and this scroll can be laid out and it's going to actually be a tarot mat. So it's going to be very nice. It's going to be made with felt or some type of very nice materials. And then it's also going to have 6 tarot cards, and on the scroll is going to be written the instructions, and they're going to read as follows. The beast sits in a corner of this long forgotten land. One strolls furthest and above him, with fragility in hand. Neither above or below, the two souls swing bare. Galloping up high, a dark omen can't help but stare. A dark castle in the distance crumbles furthest from the pale, while 2 souls between darkness await bells and veil. The tarot cards that are included are the Hanged Man, the Tower, the Devil, the Lovers, the Fool, and Death. So given the tarot cards that are included, plus the riddle or the rhyme that is written on the scroll, do you know which position to put the tarot cards in to solve the puzzle and to activate this magic item? I'll give you a second if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great! Let's go over the answer. So here we have our magical tarot scroll spread out on a table, and we have our 6 tarot cards. We have the Hanged Man, the Tower, the Devil, the Lovers, the Fool, and Death. The first line of the riddle reads, "The beast sits in the corner of this long forgotten land." Now the beast is another word for devil, so we're going to have our devil that is going to be in the corner of this long forgotten land. So that means one of these 4 corners is going to be the devil. Line 2 says, one strolls furthest and above him, fragility in hand. So if there's going to be a card that's above the devil, then that means that the devil cannot be in the top row. Now we could come back to this and pick the card after process of elimination, or we can go ahead and designate this card as the Fool. So the Fool is a vagabond, a person who wanders from place to place without a home or job. So we can insinuate that the word strolls pertains to this. Deciphering fragility in hand, well, that's a bit tougher. Fragility could mean lack of emotional strength or vulnerability. This could be interpreted as foolishness or susceptible to deception, both of which are possible indicators of the Fool. So regardless, the Fool tarot card is furthest and above the devil. So with that in mind, one of these two have to be the Fool. Now if this one is the Fool, then this one's the Devil, and if this one's the Fool, then this one's the Devil. Let's continue on. Line 3 reads, neither above or below the 2, a soul swings bare. So a soul swings bare is going to be the Hanged Man. Now it says that neither above nor below, so that means that the Hanged Man is going to be in the middle, but we don't know which one yet. So let's continue on. Line 4 says, galloping up high, a dark omen can't help but stare. So galloping is immediately going to draw our attention to Death, who rides a white pale horse. Not only that, but a dark omen can also mean death. Now it says galloping up high, so Death is either going to be in this corner, in the middle, or on the far one. So Death is going to be in the top row. Now line 5, we're going to start to get a few answers. A dark castle in the distance crumbles furthest from the pale. The dark castle is going to be our tower. Tower and castle can be interchangeable words, and it is going to be furthest from the pale. So it's going to be furthest away that it can get from Death. Now since we know that Death is either in the left corner, the right corner, in the middle, that means that the tower is going to try to be furthest away, so that's going to be in a diagonal sense. So this is going to be the tower, or this is going to be the tower. And that will eliminate Death in the middle. And then line 6, while 2 souls between darkness await bells and veil. Bells and veils is going to be indicating a wedding, and that's going to be the lovers. Now it says in between darkness, so we know that the lovers are going to be in the middle. So they're either going to be on the top or the bottom. And then we're going to look at darkness. So with darkness, we have Death, which would represent darkness. And then we either have Death or the Fool. Now I don't think the Fool would indicate darkness, but the tower, or the dark tower, as we said in line 5, and the devil, those are both going to indicate darkness, so the lovers is going to be in the middle. That means the only place for the Hanged Man, who's going to be in the middle, will be the middle top. And now we have 4 cards left to decide where they go. So let's go back to line 4. Galloping up high, a dark omen can't help but stare. So if you take a look at our Death card, you can see that the horse is staring in a particular direction. So if we put it on the far right, it's not going to be staring at anything. So we're going to put it on the far left, and it's not going to be able to help but stare. And that's going to be the Fool. That is going to be over here. And then going back to line 2, 1 strolls furthest and above him, fragility in hand. We indicated that that was the Fool that is above and furthest away from the devil. So going catty corner from that, the devil will be on the far left. And that's going to leave the tower, which is going to fill the last position in the bottom right. So after the puzzle is solved, what happens next? Well, again, I like this as a magical item that the characters can use either using an action or maybe a 10-minute ritual. So maybe this is something they can do every day to get an effect like perhaps a mage armor that affects whoever is using the tarot cards and the mat. Maybe a portent ability where they can roll a d20 and they can use that result to replace a d20 roll later. Maybe they get 1 roll of a lucky die, similar to the lucky feat. Maybe an aura of protection, comprehend languages, disguise self, something along those lines. Be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what type of effect you would give the player characters if they solve this puzzle. So that's the tarot card puzzle, and if you would like the written version of this puzzle, you can find it on my website, wallydm.com. I'll put a link in the description below. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is this something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? Be sure to leave a comment below and let's get a discussion going. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.